let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
I'm sorry, but where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same.
Where would we be in the United States of America without TV shows like The View? Probably we would already have a ship on Mars, because our collective IQ would not be damaged so much on a day-to-day basis in every single morning by people like Whoopi Goldberg deciding that the United States of America, due to evil white racism that's under every rock, is actually worse or equivalent to the nation of Iran in terms of human rights. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Sean, and today I want to talk about a pretty standard and normal discussion that was going on The View that talked about, of course, the issue of war, foreign policy, Iran, all these basic things that are above the pay grade of the host of The View, but immediately Whoopi Goldberg decided that she was going to derail the entire segment by saying, oh, well, you're not factoring in black people, you're not factoring in evil white racism, which once again is yet another instance of a topic not being about racism, not being about black people, not being about the evil white racists that are hiding under every rock, but suddenly shifting there because Whoopi Goldberg wants to be the greatest victim. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
The Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
You know, one of the biggest red flags, in my opinion, in terms of somebody's intelligence is the inability to understand scale, is the inability to understand whether something is worse or better comparatively, especially when you're the person who brings forth the comparison. And this is exactly what Whoopi Goldberg is pulling off right here. That being said, I want to make something 100% clear. There are ways to point out that you don't want to go into this conversation because you believe it might lead to some kind of war propaganda. And a perfect example of this is that a lot of the human rights abuses that occur in Iran also occur in other Middle Eastern countries that the United States of America and the nation of Israel have no desire to intervene in. Now, of course, you can counterbalance that by pointing out the number of people that are executed in Iran, the specifics of their laws and how restrictive they are on women or gay people or whoever. But as of right now, as of this moment right here, that is not the direction that Whoopi Goldberg wanted to go to. She is not just trying to counteract what is potentially war propaganda against Iran about the treatment of women in a region where women are treated horribly, repeatedly, and consistently. She has decided that the real issue is the United States of America, human rights in the United States of America, the evil orange man being evil, bad, and orange, and of course, black people, black America, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but black people are the greatest victims in the history of the entire country, all the time, perpetually, it's ongoing, and Whoopi Goldberg is a perfect example of that victimization. I mean, she was a Hollywood movie star, she's also on The View, she's a multi-millionaire, but guess what? She's also a victim, and she's scared to go out any day in the United States of America just because of the evil white racism.
It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit into Iran.
I'm sorry.
No, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
So look, I'm not a fan of Alyssa Ferris-Griffin. I think she is ridiculous and almost as ridiculous as the other people on this particular show. But the fact is, she's 100% right. It is not the same thing. And I want to make something clear. Even in the heyday of racism in the United States of America, it is not the same thing as the nation of Iran. One of the things that people don't realize is that there weren't actually that many lynchings in the United States of America's history. And by the way, most of the time, these were just extrajudicial murders in response to some kind of criminality. And by the way, white people were also lynched. Now, it was disproportionately black people being lynched, and I'm 100% certain certain that a bunch of those lynchings were totally unjustified and, of course, motivated by racism, but the idea that we're going to try to stack a couple thousand lynchings over a 70-year period against what is going on right now in the nation of Iran is absolutely absurd. Again, just from a human rights standpoint, they're basically operating in the dark ages with their treatment of women, with their treatment of gays, and Whoopi Goldberg is just hand-waving that away because she realized that black people aren't the main character in this particular story. She realized that, oh no, we're actually talking about something that's not Orange Man bad, and that's making her incredibly angry. And by the way, even though the lynching period that is often referenced is from the late 1800s to about 1968, Whoopi Goldberg is still going to say that modern day America, evil white racism, homophobia in the United States of America is kind of like on par, if not worse in the United States of America, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, America bad, America the worst place ever, and all the enemies of America are good. This is in fact the distillation of the blame America position, and of course the distillation of the everything is based on evil white racism position.
Yes, it is up to them.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
So obviously Whoopi Goldberg has no point here at all whatsoever, so she's resorted to the tactic of saying, hey Alyssa, I think a reasonable person, when they hear what you said about the obvious human rights abuses going on in the nation of Iran, would misinterpret that in a bad way, and then Alyssa ends up responding by saying, in 2025, current year in the United States of America.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Guys, don't go to Iran. Do not anyone at this table.
We are not as bad as Iran, and that is obvious, but Whoopi says, well, unless you're black, unless you're a black person, then of course it's worse in the United States of America, or bare minimum equivalent to the nation of Iran, which again is just absurd in every way. Contrary to the beliefs put forward by Black Lives Matter, there aren't a bunch of black people just being killed on the streets for no reason by evil white racists. Now, there's a bunch of gang shootings, there's a bunch of hood activity that is definitely resulting in the killing of black people, and a lot of that could be classified as for no reason, but the fact is that's regular ordinary criminals committing crimes against each other. Most of them are black people that are killing other black people, and it has nothing to do with the systemic structures, evil white racism hiding under every rock, or whatever ridiculous explanation Whoopi Goldberg is trying to put forward. But the thing is, she is going to continue. She is going to press on, and the reason why is because she doesn't want anybody at any point in time to ever take the focus off of her perpetual black victimization narrative.
Let me tell you about being in this country. This is the greatest country in the world. But yeah, I know that. And we all know that. But every day we are worried. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are our kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood?
And again, this isn't a one-off from Whoopi Goldberg where people end up replying to her and then she says, oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. She's doubling down. She's talking about this fictional black person, this innocent Baba Angel Aladdin, who's just running through a neighborhood that everybody's just worried that they'll get shot. And let me make this clear, Whoopi. The reason that a black teen, a black youth, might get shot running through a neighborhood is because said black teen, said black youth just committed a crime, is running from the police, has a firearm on him, is presenting a threat to officers. This is just not a realistic scenario, again, for the overwhelming majority of innocent Baba Angel black people, that this is a likely thing to happen. So few black people get killed by the cops, so few unarmed black people get killed by the cops in the United States of America. It's absolutely absurd. When the Washington Post did a breakdown of this, they found 9 cases in the entire country of 300 million people. And by the way, included in those unarmed black people are black people that were actively trying to arm themselves, like taking the cop's gun, or of course, black people that were behind the wheel of a vehicle that were driving said vehicle as a deadly weapon at an officer. Again, you can look at the many breakdowns of these cases of supposedly unarmed black people, and what you'll find out is that maybe you get 1, maybe 2 cases that require further further scrutiny for us to determine whether or not said shooting was justified. But again, this is all about diminishing America in the world, saying Orange Man has made America bad, America evil, America white and racist, and oh my God, what do we do about the evil white racism?
Nobody wants to diminish the very real problems we have in this country. That is no one's intent. But I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights.
Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965,
okay, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran.
So it's so funny that even with Whoopi Goldberg's fake and ridiculous timeline, like the claim that black people got the right to vote in 1965, you're only off by 100 years, Whoopi. We only had a constitutional amendment allowing this to occur 100 years previous to that, and I'm not saying that there weren't any type of restrictions and additional problems that were put in to prevent black people from voting in some parts of the country, but you're just wrong and totally off. But again, even with that, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran. So again, Whoopi Goldberg is trying to make the case that the United States is just as bad as, if not worse than Iran, especially if you're a black person. And in reality, that's just not the case.
Women,
you know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
Let me try something. It's like try to reverse roles with a black person in this country, let's say, because I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Just try to understand from their point of view. From that point of view, this country does not do them well. Does not go for them.
Of course, this segment doesn't end with a rational resolution. It ends with Joy Behar saying, oh, well, here's the thing. I don't think you're understanding, Alyssa. You're not educated enough on this particular topic. Try to reverse roles with a black person in the United States of America, and you'll understand that America, so bad for black people in the United States of America. And again, I would just point out that black people in the United States of America do significantly better than the average person in the nation of Iran. That's what we're doing. We're comparing two countries, two civilizations, two societies, and the idea that there is an expectation of equal rights in the United States of America, which is rare in the world, it's non-existent in the nation of Iran, is totally glossed over by these people, all on behalf of the feelings of a black woman who is extraordinarily wealthy. Again, this woman is an absolute doof, and of course, she immediately runs to a commercial break in order to avoid the fact that she was just attacking America without justification for no reason. And again, you could say, look, oh my God, there's history in the United States of America, there are lingering effects in the United States of America, and I just want to make the point that America is not perfect. I want to make the point that there are problems in the United States of America, but again, it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of this video, which is, of course, scale. You not being able to determine that it is worse to live in the nation of Iran than the United States of America is a problem with your IQ. It's a problem with your brain, and that is based on the fact that you cannot understand scale. You can't understand the abstract thought of something being worse than your current situation, which is kind of crazy because Whoopi Goldberg's current situation is better than the overwhelming majority of people in the United States of America. And again, she's on The View, which might seem torturous to all of you guys to sit on a panel with these other women, and thus we can understand how she could feel like that may be almost as bad as Iran. But the fact is, Whoopi Goldberg is one of those people who makes The View that level of bad. Now again, like I said early on, there is an interesting conversation to be had about why we're talking about human rights abuses in the nation of Iran versus Saudi Arabia versus Pakistan versus any of these Middle Eastern countries, and how that is supposed to inspire us to act in that region. You could say that's war propaganda, but what you can't say and what you can't argue is that black people feeling irrationally that America is the worst place ever, although they never leave. Whoopi Goldberg's a multimillionaire. She could go to any country, presumably, that she wants within reason, is somehow a legitimate view to have, is somehow a sensible position to take. No, absolutely not. Ridiculous and absurd. Shut your faces. You're dead wrong. Iran is significantly worse. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about Whoopi Goldberg attacking America. Till next time.